It was a busy morning at the airport. The check-in lines stretched long as passengers shuffled forward, clutching their boarding passes and passports. Amid the crowd was Ava Robinson, a strikingly elegant woman, dressed in a stylish suit. She moved with confidence and grace, but her calm demeanor didn't sit well with one particular airline employee behind the counter. The worker, a middle-aged man named Brad, noticed Ava approaching. Without so much as a second glance, his eyes narrowed. Before Ava could even introduce herself, Brad's tone was sharp and dismissive. "Ma'am, the first-class line is over there. This is for priority customers only," he snapped, gesturing to another line. Ava raised an eyebrow, her polite smile unwavering. "I am a first-class passenger," she said, handing over her boarding pass. Brad snatched the pass and inspected it with exaggerated skepticism. He let out a loud sigh, shaking his head. "This has to be a mistake. There's no way this is your ticket," he said, loudly enough for those nearby to hear. A few passengers turned to look. Ava remained composed, though the humiliation was clear on her face. "I assure you, it's not a mistake," she said calmly. Brad, now visibly irritated, leaned closer. "Look, ma'am, I don't know how you got this ticket, but you need to move aside. You're holding up the line." What Brad didn't know was that Ava Robinson wasn't just any passenger. She wasn't just flying first class. Ava Robinson was a self-made billionaire. She had built her wealth through years of hard work, grit, and determination. And here's the kicker. She wasn't just a passenger today. She was the majority owner of the very airline Brad worked for. Ava decided to give Brad one last chance. "Sir, please double-check my ticket," she said, her tone firm yet professional. But Brad wasn't having it. "I don't need to check anything. You're not flying first class today," he snapped, crossing his arms. The situation escalated. Brad, clearly trying to make a scene, picked up his radio and called for airport security. Within minutes, 2 officers arrived. "This lady is causing a disturbance," Brad said, pointing at Ava. "She's refusing to cooperate and holding up the line." The officers approached Ava, but she stood her ground. "I have done nothing wrong," she said, showing her ticket and ID once again. One of the officers, sensing something was off, took a closer look at Ava's documents. His eyes widened. "Ma'am, your ticket is perfectly valid. I'm sorry for the inconvenience," he said, stepping back. But Brad wasn't ready to back down. He scoffed, muttering under his breath, "Probably fake ID. People like her always try to game the system." What he didn't realize was that Ava had been quietly documenting the entire encounter on her phone. She wasn't just defending herself. She was preparing to expose the blatant discrimination she was facing. Just as things were about to get even more heated, another airline employee approached, this time a senior manager who had overheard the commotion. The manager recognized Ava immediately. "Mrs. Robinson, I'm so sorry for this misunderstanding," the manager said, visibly horrified. "Please come with me. We'll ensure you're taken care of right away." Brad's jaw dropped. "Wait, Mrs. Robinson?" he stammered. "Yes," the manager replied, turning to him with a cold stare. "Ms. Ava Robinson, the owner of this airline." Brad's face went pale. He opened his mouth to speak, but no words came out. In that moment, Brad realized the gravity of his actions. He had humiliated not just a customer, but his boss. Ava didn't need to raise her voice or lose her composure. Her presence alone spoke volumes. She turned to Brad and said, "Your behavior today reflects poorly on this company. I built this airline to serve all passengers with respect and dignity. You've shown neither." Brad was suspended on the spot, pending a full investigation. Ava, on the other hand, boarded her flight as planned. But the story didn't end there. Ava released the footage she had recorded, and it quickly went viral. Millions of people praised her for handling the situation with grace and using her platform to shed light on an all-too-common problem. As for Brad, his career in the airline industry was effectively over. Ava made sure of that, not out of revenge, but to send a clear message. Disrespect has no place in her company. This story serves as a reminder that appearances can be deceiving. Ava Robinson wasn't just a first-class passenger. She was a trailblazer, a leader, and a billionaire. And she showed the world that no one, not even the owner of an airline, is above demanding respect.